Garrison, and this is my story. Yeah, I got out of college some years ago, and I wanted to move into the city, got me a job, and I needed a roommate. So I got one of my friends from college. I was like, hey, you want to be like a roommate or something, and he's like, yeah, man, let's do it. So we split the cost, and it worked out really cool, just like two young guys, and we'd have parties all the time, and we'd just drink beer and have nachos and watch the ball game and stuff like that, just hang out, have a good old time, and we'd pull pranks on each other and stuff, one time, he was my roommate Steven, he was I'd be watching the game, and all of a sudden the TV would just turn off or the channel would change, and it was because he had the remote, and he'd be in the hallway or something, changing it and stuff, or he would sometimes he'd do it right there where I was, and he'd pretend oh, I don't know. So yeah, all of a sudden we'd be like, yeah, and then all of a sudden the TV would turn off, and I'd look at him and I'd be like, what the hell happened, and he's like, I don't know, stupid ass, and I'd pull stuff on him, the old cellophane trick over the toilet, or I don't know, I put apple juice in his beer once. That was pretty funny. Yeah, little things like that, but this one time I was really going to scare him. I was really going to get him. I was walking back from the store. I got me some beer and some cigarettes, and I'm walking in the store, and I look over and I see down the street there's some mannequins at the thrift store, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll grab some of these these mannequin. I'll grab a mannequin, I'll dress him up and stuff, and I'll put him there in his bedroom, and then he'll wake up and be like, oh, who the fuck's there, or I'll put it in the closet, and when he opens up the closet he'll be like, oh shit, but I blotched it, the store is closed, and I saw him outside, and it was there's a fence there, a closed gate and fence and everything, and I was like, fuck, man. And so I kind of I walk home. Me and my roommate comes home later on, and we kind of hang out for a while, and I kind of play nonchalant, because I'm still thinking about it. And he goes to sleep eventually, and I'm thinking to myself, sitting there, I'm thinking, man, I think I can steal one of those mannequins, And I'm thinking maybe I can just grab the mannequin and then shimmy it up slowly, just kind of, because there's bars and there's, but you can kind of move it and then kind of push it up the way. And I thought, it'll just fall and whatever. And so I kind of wait an hour, and I hear my roommate's kind of sleeping and stuff, and I'm like, okay. And then I wait another 30 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, that's probably enough. I walk down the street, and I kind of look at all of it. I kind of think about it for a second. I'm looking around, everything seems pretty safe, and I start kind of grabbing the mannequin, and I start kind of moving it and shimming it through the bars of the fence, and then it's kind of heavy, and I push it over, and it falls over the fence, and I get it perfect, man. And but here's the thing, it's a pure all-white female body sculpture of a mannequin, something from JCPenney's, and I pick it up, and I got it in my arm, and I'm walking down the street like it's a fucking surfboard or something, you know what I mean? And I'm walking down the street, and I'm like, I got it, and then all of a sudden I hear a whoop whoop, and it's the fucking cops, man. And they're they shine their light on me, and they're like, what are you doing? What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm walking. And he's like, no, I saw you steal that mannequin from that gate. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm like, stupid, And he's like, yeah, I did. I saw you, like, steal that mannequin from that gate. And I'm like, all right, you got me, And at this time, like, all the fucking, the neighbors of the houses across the street, because I'm on a main drag where the street is, and all these, like, neighbors start coming out and everything, and they're like looking around with their, like, little, bathrobes, and they're like, what's going on over there? What's going on? And I'm like, oh, shit. And the cop's like, what are you doing there, sport? And I'm like, nothing. But I have to break it down eventually to him. I'm like, all right, look, I was trying to pull a prank on my friend. I got this fucking thing. And he's looking at me like, are you a pervert? Because, are you going to, like, wank off at that doll? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, that's pretty weird. And all the fucking people are driving by and everything, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, oh, shit, And I'm like, look, I'm just trying to pull a prank. I live down the street. Come on, man. And he's like, look, I should probably take you in, And then all of a sudden, my other friend drives by. Thank God. He drives by, and he's like, yo, what the fuck? And he sees me. And I'm like, come here. And he comes over, and I'm like, dude, tell this cop, like, I'm pulling a prank on Steven, and then I got this thing, and he's like, yeah, seems about right. The cop's like, you can vouch for him, he lives down here. He's like, yeah. Thank God the cop lets me go, and he's like, just put the mannequin away and get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, all right. And everybody, at least half the block's looking at me, right? And they got their grandmas and everything out there, and I'm just like, shit. And I grab the fucking mannequin, and I sit it down. I just put it up against the fence, and then the cop's like, no, put it over the fence. I'm like, man. So I grab it, and then I have to, like, hold it, like I'm holding its crotch, and I'm like trying to get it back down so it doesn't shatter all over the fucking place, you know what I mean? Because I can see the cop right, and then they're like, well, breaking and destruction of private property, And anyways, my friend's just looking at me like, what the fuck, And I'm like, look, and I had to break it down to him, right? And so he gets the fuck out of there, and I'm like, just let me go home. I go home. So I go home. My roommate, dead asleep. He's like dead asleep, And I'm like, holy shit. And so I like just, watch some TV and just, just think about how stupid I am. The next morning, whatever afternoon, I tell him, I'm like, hey man, I got something to tell you. And he's like, yeah, what's up? And he doesn't know the wiser, And I'm like, I got something to tell you. And he's like, yeah. And I say, blah, blah, blah. I tell him the whole spiel. And he's like, wow, that's crazy. And then he starts laughing like that. He just starts fucking dying laughing. He's like, no, I know. He's like, Derek called me. He said he saw you outside, that you were in the cops and this and this. And I'm like, you bitch. So he like made me just spill my whole guts in like front of him, even though he already knew that fucking son of a bitch. Crazy guy. But yeah, that's it, man. I guess crime doesn't pay, or whatever. No prank goes unpunished, or whatever they say, something like that. But yeah, man, thanks a bunch for letting me do this. Thank you.